Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's June 30th at like 8 o'clock, I think. Yeah. Um, you see the title of the video, The Problems with Amazon. Let's get started. Um, we're going to go over about 3 different things, I think. I may add more. Probably will, because I usually do. One being injuries, 2 being time off, and 3 being basically a summary of why Amazon is not the greatest place for employment. Unless you're a manager or a tier 3 automatically, which is rare to be a tier 3 automatically. You can be a manager if you have like a bachelor's degree or a master's degree in business or something that you just got out of school for. But those people that have been sitting on a degree for, let's say, a year or 2 are not going to find a job at Amazon. They only take people right out of college. I see the point. It's because you want to get those people's foot in the door, and you want to try and look good because you're doing this. But there was a tier 3 that had, there was a woman that worked at Amazon that still does, that she had to move up through the channels from tier 1 to manager with a master's degree in business administration, and did not start off like even tier 3. She started off as a tier 1 associate. Then she moved up to a problem solver, which isn't really a move up. It's just a path that you get into. And then from there, she went to become a PA, which is a tier 3. And then over like 4 or 5 months, she became a level 4, level 5, which is an AM. But she got night shifts when there was an opening, and I believe there still is an opening for our shift, AM as well, an assistant AM, which didn't make any sense. Like, she worked her butt off to get to that position, and then they put her on nights, which didn't make any sense, and they're bringing more kids in from college just to take the day shift. It doesn't make any sense how that works. Now on to tier 1 associates, which will be the majority of the people hired by Amazon. They won't be managers. They won't be tier 3s when they first start. What should I say about this? You have a very low possibility of moving up in the company. I know they say there's a huge possibility and huge room for growth, but you have a very low possibility of moving up in the company unless you have an associate's degree in some related field to Amazon. To become a tier 3, you they throw out stipulations, like they change up the rules every chance they get. So when everybody first got hired, you didn't need a degree at all to become a tier 3, and now you have to have an associate's degree in order to become a tier 3 for the time being. Also, the only people that get promotions at Amazon are the people who royally kiss the butt of every single manager at that building. Honestly, I can't get fired for what I'm saying. I still work for them, but I can't get fired for what I'm saying because I'm using my freedom of speech, and I'm going to bring that up later. This video is going to be a little long, but if you're trying to get employment at Amazon, just follow along, and I'm going to explain to you why you might want to look in a different direction. It's really tough to balance your work and outside of work schedule. It's not flexible whatsoever. It's locked down tight. Yes, if you work regular back half or front half days or nights, you work the same schedule every week until they give you mandatory overtime. or they give you VTO. And we'll get to those in a second as well. Actually, you know what? I might turn this into like a two-part video for people that want to watch it and don't want to watch for a super long amount of time. So yeah, I'll split this up into two videos. So this one is going to be basically about the pros and cons of working for there in the aspect of manager moving up, and injuries. So, like I just mentioned, you have to kiss butt royally. Now, if you're good at that, go ahead and try working there. But you're going to be the reason that a lot of people quit. Just so you know that. I understand that it's just a job, but you have to live with the fact that you made people quit because you are the one that's kissing ass just to get a better job. And you're the one who gets all their time off task coded because you spend all your time talking to the managers. And believe me, there is ways to code your time off task. Time off task is where you get this thing called scan to scan. So every item you scan, in between you scanning another item, it's called time off task, and it builds up over the day. Tack time. So, I mean, I know one associate in particular that started probably a week or two before I did, and she has kissed ass like royally, and all she has to do now is basically has no rate. It doesn't matter how bad she does on water spidering at all. She can still keep the same position no matter what. With that being said, the bottom line is it's not easy to move up in that company. I'd say probably 5 to 10% of the amount of people that apply at Amazon will move up, maybe even less. And the other, I'd say over 75% of the workforce that comes in will quit or get fired. So you're looking at it, and then there's the tier ones that last for 10 plus years that can put up with this kind of work. You're on your feet for 10 hours a day, just to begin with. Okay, it sounds like, you know, I mean, from the outside looking in, that's never worked there before. It sounds like a great thing. You get all these benefits, blah blah blah. The benefits aren't that great though. With that being said, we'll move on to injuries and what happened to me. Okay? Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to actually talk about this, but I'm going to. I fell at work. Okay? I fell off a box ladder with no railing system on it at all. There was no railing system in it at all. It was put in a truck so that we could unload the truck. We have what's known as floor loads, which is where trucks come in, not palletized, not totes. No, it's all on just a whole bunch of boxes thrown into a truck. That's it. No order to it at all. Just a whole bunch of boxes thrown into a truck. And what happens is we take those boxes out of the truck, we put them on cages, and they get sent to the stowers who, after they're opened by their water spider, are put in, all the items inside are put into these pods that are driven by Roomba robot-looking things. Now, I took a fall. I'd had about a box that weighed 20 to 30 pounds. I was coming down a ladder. I missed the last step. Fell straight on my foot and may have slightly sprained my ACL or MCL. So I was dealing with that pain for a while, and I worked through it for pretty much the rest of that shift. It was a Friday. I worked through it through the rest of my shift. And then on Saturday we come in and I found out there was mandatory overtime, which was going to affect my dentist appointment to get another tooth looked at. And so I went in there and they sent me home, but it was against the rules to send me home for my mouth. Even though a mouth problem, if there's an abscess in your tooth, now this is highly unlikely, but it's possible, but highly unlikely, that you can have an infection that spreads into the bloodstream that will kill you from your tooth. And luckily it wasn't abscessed from what my dentist told me. He did put me on antibiotics and a painkiller for the pain because the pain was pretty outrageous. So after a week, and I contacted the accommodations team contacted me. This is a completely different team than our human resources team. So they contacted me and they told me that them letting me leave on a leave of absence due to my mouth was against the rules, and that if it was my fault, I was going to get fired. If it was their fault, it would be coded. So they fixed it for me and I got to come back. When I come back, after being gone for a week, I come back and I have a write-up for me. For a day, all the errors that came from the day that my knee got hurt, because I was on the truck for the first part of the day. I got off the truck and then I went back to Stowe. Stowe is based on two things. You have rate and you have quality, and my big problem was quality. So I got 8 errors and 4,000 Stowes. Why my Stowe rate was so low was because the majority of that week I had been on a truck. The majority of that week I had been on the truck unloading the truck. So therefore I did not have near the units that I was supposed to, because I was a water spider all day and did not have the units to build up or back up the quality. I didn't have the units to back up the quality for that many errors. And I'm going to tell you how easy it is for you to get an error. Okay, so you put, let's say, this item here inside of a bin, and somebody puts a sheet of, puts something under it and it falls out of the bin. Well, now you've got an error. And that's how they systematically fire a ton of people. My rate was fine. Which you'd think that would be the okay. Okay? Well, no, that's not how it works. And I'm on my second written. You get the next third. Your third is your final written before you get fired. Okay? I've never been threatened with being fired before. And it feels like it's coming on. I've been working there for 7 months, and the firing feels imminent. It just does not feel like a good workplace to be in anymore. It feels like a very tension-filled place. The next video series will include the drama that you will face at Amazon and the dog-eat-dog society. That's what we're going to talk about in the next video series. Not video series, but the next video. We're going to talk about the dog-eat-dog mentality that you will eventually accrue from working at Amazon. But back on to the main point. Now I waited 2 weeks, and I go to a doctor because I come back to AmCare and they send me out that day. And these guys in AmCare are good guys. They do their job. They look over you. The problem is that the stipulations that Amazon has set up for their AmCare agency. I should have been sent to a doctor when it happened, okay? When you take a fall like that, you should be sent to the doctor immediately, just so that they can cover their bases and understand what's going on. Well, I was sent to the doctor, and I have until Monday to get better, or else they're going to keep restrictions on me to where I can't go to work. Okay? It's almost like you don't want to be there. Okay? You don't want to. At some point, you're going to realize that it's almost not worth it, and you come home and you literally want to break down. You just want to explode, like your head wants to explode because of all the crap you deal with on a daily basis. Now, I've put up with it now for 7 months. And, I took my personal leave of absences, and the thing is I took a lot of time off during this time period where my grandfather was in the nursing home and he eventually passed, but I took a lot of time off, and I don't have much left at all. In fact, I have like a day's worth of time left. So, with that being said, that's what I'll go over in the next video as well, like time off and how that works. But I'm probably going to put an end to this one because it's getting to be like 16 minutes long. And I will continue the workers' comp on the next video. Thank you guys.